Yeah, welcome. Very, very humbled with your presence coming to this workshop. Um, we continue on the sense of belonging, and I think one of the gifts of every person in this room is, we're quite imaginative as well. I remember these words from Timothy Radcliffe. Timothy Radcliffe is a Dominican friar, and he said that we need to engage the community with so much imagination, and we need to imagine and creative ways for our community. First is probably we go around the room because this question, what is one particular way that people experience a deep sense of belonging in your parish? What is one particular way that people experience a deep sense of belonging in your parish?
Well, I'm from Junray. It's a small community, and our parish has 3 small communities. And one way that I experience a sense of belonging is that I know the names of the people that I gather with, and they know me.
Yes.
We call each other by name.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the strengths about a small thing. It's got a lot of not so good sides.
Yeah.
Like we don't have as many resources. But that's one really good thing.
With the name, right? Yeah, it's very important. And I think that's, I remember when I was in Wodonga and looking after the valley, where we have one, I remember my first mass was in Tangambalanga, and there were 7 people in that mass, and then I was the 7th person. So it was very easy to remember names during that time. But thank you.
They've just said, I'm from Shepparton, so they've just introduced the Mesa de Gallo Day Novena over the Christmas period, and they then put on a breakfast after the early morning mass. And each day you had more and more people come and stay for the breakfast for longer. So there's a sense of, firstly wanting to be there because you got up early, and then they provide the breakfast, and each mass it seemed to be like the crowd got bigger and bigger. So someone else invited someone else along, and then you've kept in contact with someone for 9 days, and goodness knows what's after that, when you're catching up with someone in the morning for even a short amount of time. But if you're doing it regularly for 9 days, then you're getting to catch up with more people.
It's a really good sense of building up with numbers even,
That's right.
Like
it's not about numbers, but people staying and inviting someone else to come along the next day. And then there was this talk about the breakfast. No one wanted to miss out,
Yep.
Duca, we have Father Noe, who's our parish priest, and we have a lot of hospitality type stuff happening. We've got the G'day weekends, we have the men's breakfast, which is, they've talked about, but we also, nobody likes to have a party for whatever occasion it might be, and invites everyone to come along. And he's quite, sometimes we think, how many people are going to come, we never know, but it doesn't ever seem to matter. Everyone brings something and it just sort of works out. And we've had more and more people coming to the stage where it's like, well, how are we going to fit them in? Just talking about the Christmas party, and we're thinking, well, last year we had, I don't know how many hundred people came, and it was fine, but it was a little bit chaotic, and some of us think, well, how are we going to do this? But it's a good thing to have to worry about. Because you've got to fit everybody in, them. But I think that's been great for our community, because people that you might have seen come for a long time is coming. Maybe they're coming for the food, but I think they're coming because I think they like the sense of belonging.
Yeah, true. And it's really good to hear some, like good problems. Like, do we have enough chairs? Do we have enough car parks? Do we have enough hosts?
Can I add to what Jennifer just said? I'm from Kyabram, and we have 2 churches that are serviced. But every first Sunday of the month, we have Father Noe come to Tongala. And I took over setting up and doing that mass probably 2 years ago, and counting me, there was probably 7 or 8 people at it. And now we have up to 30, I think at 35 the month before. This month was different. Father Nova's away and we had liturgy of the word and communion. But I think the priest has got a lot to do with it. He's the one that's bringing the crowd in. We all love him and it's just a lovely person and a lovely priest.
Thank you. Yeah, I was ordained with Novi, so we were ordained together. Yeah, it's a good one. Good one. Yeah.
So I'm pastoral associate that works in Bendigo, so Sacred Heart Cathedral, St Joseph's and St Monica's. So I'm across 3 churches there. And even though we don't necessarily know each other, I can guarantee you when someone's talking about someone, like, where's Roger? And I go, who's Roger? And I go, you know, Roger always sits. Everyone goes, oh, Roger. And we know who we're talking about. So even though we may not have got to that point of sharing, it's almost familiar strangers to a degree. So we have a sense of where people belong in the church geographically or their particular areas that they are going to sit. And people really do notice when they've been absent for a couple of weeks and they start inquiring with other people of, have you seen this person, have you seen that person? So it's an interesting way of looking at it, that a stranger can still find space and someone will know them by they always wear this or they always wear that or they always sit here.
And it's really beautiful to to hear that concern and care. Again, I look after only St. Kilian's, but there are 3 or 4 masses in a weekend, and each mass has its own culture as well. Like the Saturday night mass, totally different culture. The Sunday 8 o'clock, they want a much more contemplative, quiet mass. The 10 o'clock that's all the noise and all the families coming, and then the 6 o'clock in the evening is much more a younger crowd. We have a lot of young adults and youth mass as well in that. So it's quite different clientele sort of, but it's a good opportunity too. What are the needs of this group and how do we build up from because that's their desire. What sort of music that we could put that in that particular mass. Okay. So as I mentioned, the first is the thought of walking together. I always love the thought of walking together. I walk every morning as well and clears everything in the mind. And there's a Latin phrase called says "Salvator ambulando," which means everything is solved by walking. And it's really beautiful that we walk together as a community of faith and learning together, and a sense of humility as well. When I preach and Father Rob preach, we are really in the front with the people. It's really good because we could look at the body language as well. Like, I'm better to shut up now, but it's walking with each other as well. As I mentioned at the start, how do we meet new inquirers and seekers? And it's really beautiful, the last week's conference, we have to rediscover again the right of acceptance, the RCIA, because they are meeting at the door, and we will meet them at the door and walk with them. And it's very powerful. When processions is done so beautifully, it is a celebration. It is a witness of a community as well. How do we celebrate the Palm Sunday procession, for instance? I saw this video in Israel, and they go wild with that Palm Sunday procession. In us as well, we're quite blessed that we have a lot of palms and olive trees and everything, and I go wild as well because I think I'm a very visual person. I love to imagine that it is a fiesta. Like, I come from the Philippines, and we have the concept of fiesta, that everything is a very visual, colorful. It's we're not very. I'm not a very shy Catholic, I want that. And we also have to important that we have to revisit our vision in our parish every now and then. When we ask, what is the purpose of the parish? We have to revisit our vision. And it gives us the clear goal of the direction of our parish as well. For instance, in St. Kilian's, the purpose of St. Kilian's is to be a Catholic presence in the heart of Bendigo, celebrating and sharing and developing faith open to all as well, It's really good, and to be faithful with that vision when we don't know what direction are we heading to. So here, so as mentioned, on a particular Sunday, we have welcomers at the church doors, and they wear a name tag, welcoming parishioners, visitors, baptism families. And so with our baptism as well, we're quite blessed. Every Sunday, sometimes we have 5 or 7 children for baptism. Quite really blessed. And at the church, though, we have 2 ladies, and then they would give this to the parents, just to guide them. What is the name of your child, and speak with clarity and confidence, because for many years as a priest, when during presentation, what do you ask of God's church for your child? As a parent, you have a lot of things in your mind, and I always mime baptism. And it's very practical way, just very practical, but a little way, but it gives them a lot of peace as well on that Sunday morning. So how do we welcome them? The welcoming signs is they're just little, but that one at the door, we have that one in the outside of the church. We have 2 of that, and during baptism, so we have a welcoming kit for our new families. So this is our welcoming kit to our families, new families. So we have after the baptism, what's the connection? What are the opportunities that they could connect also to our parish? And we have quite generous parishioners as well. They gave us, so we have some mugs as well. So these are little mugs, mugs. It has St. Kilian's, a logo too. And then it's really beautiful that the whole parish see this presentation as a celebration as well. That it's not just a little part of the Sunday liturgy, but it is walking with these families and celebrating with them. So we have this information of St. Kilian's too, and then a bit of a history, and who's about St. Kilian's, and how they contact the parish as well, social media, website, or anything as well. So it's like a little merch for a parish as well. Young families are very visual. Young families are, I think it's almost, we have to market somehow. We have to market Jesus. But that's how the world revolves these days, But it's good that, and at the moment we have some, it's a good connection too, because we have some elderly parishioners they've been receiving a lot of rosaries from Fatima every fortnight. And these elderly parishioners, they gave us as well the rosary. So what I did, I put the rosary here as well. And when they receive this, it's a little reminder that, that the parish is caring for them and welcoming them too. So this is a dawn mass. So this is a 5:30 mass on a Christmas novena. And sometimes in that mass, we have 15 or 20 altar service. And I'm very intentional with the kids as well. Whenever I see little kids would you like to serve? And I give them one little job. And there's one little boy there, he holds a message stick every Sunday. And he is very proud, that's my job. And he have this sense of ownership, There's a little boy there and little girls that they ring the bell, processing with the gospel book every Sunday. And they're very faithful. And then we put the vestments at the back, and so they just go there, and that's their space, and then they're all ready. We have altar servers who are in their 20s, uni students, and I'm very intentional, and probably they're sick of me inviting them. So that's why now they're on a Sunday, they know where to vest, and then so we're quite blessed that we have a number of kids celebrating in the mass, because that's always been the lamentation of many parish. We don't see children in our,
So in our church at St. Augustine's, we have a few altar service regular ones. I'm one and I'm 36. And then there's the other one and she's about to say it.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
Now trying to bring children in and we do, but you know, the parents don't bring them to mass, so
Sure, yeah.
it makes it a bit hard.
Yeah.
But you know, the show goes on.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And I think as you are all parish leaders, whenever you know, people coming to your church doors, just be very intentional, be very invitational as well, because that is the key. If you invite them 3 times, they're sick of you. But they would be really coming to your church events or any invitation as well. Yeah. So some of them, because we have a lot of kids in our Sunday Mass, so we have a lot of altar service. And then this coming Sunday, we have a children's choir. So every second Sunday, we have a children's choir as well. And we have very young families young parents as well, very musical. And then, it's really good.
Is that because you have a great association with schools? Because how do we get the young ones to go?
Yes, that's very important too. You know, when we're able to have I'm very blessed that with the 3 principals in St. Killian's, I'm a very good friend with them. I know what's happening in their personal lives too. And that personal connection, it's very important. And I get along with our young teachers as well. Our young teachers, and in whatever faith journey they have, whatever gender as well, I could sit with them, journey with them, and it's really beautiful that some important days and dates with them and events, you are invited. And so I think the first is, be very relational as well. I said to my PPC group that, we have to really solidify a relationship here so that when we have to create a decision, and the decision can be really tough, at least the relationship is still there. And so, and I think we're.
You're very visual. The kids would know you.
Yeah. And I know them by name as well. Yeah. So it's very, very important.
It's very difficult when the school and the church are not in the same place.
Yeah, sure.
I think our parishes suffered a little bit because the school is now a fair way away from the church, and the parents and the kids are also not, seeing what's happening at the church.
Yeah.
Very hard to get them there.
Yeah. And also I think I mentioned to the priest as well, because the cry of the priest, like, we don't see these kids on a Sunday, but we see them actually every week, because there's a weekday mass with them, or every fortnightly, or a unit mass, or a class mass. And I said to them that when we celebrate this Thursday mass with the kids, let us celebrate this as if a Sunday mass, because a lot of these kids, we don't see them on Sunday, but we celebrate this as a Sunday mass with them. And then I want them to that this mass is their mass. When I preach with them, I sit with them and engage them. When coming to the prayer of consecration, I learned this in Tarawara. If you go to Tarawara Abbey, there's a 7:00 mass there, and then during the consecration part, all the visitors of the abbey, all the monks will surround the altar, and then you stand with them as well. And it's really beautiful that you are part of this meal. And I learned that, and then I used that with the kids, because I remember this one particular mass at Pyramid Hill. I was invited to celebrate mass, and then kids were running around at the back, and I said to them, "Come around, let's gather this part of this mass." And they're so focused, because their parents are looking at them as well. But every time I celebrate mass with the kids, during the consecration part, I invite them around the altar. And I usually say to them, I don't straight to the prayer, but I say to them that this part is Jesus having a meal with his friends. And you are all friends here. And let's celebrate this mass with you. Yep, as I mentioned, we have hospitality teams. And it's really beautiful. And to really engage the gifts of every, the person in the, for instance, our Filipinos, I asked them about leadership. I asked them to be part of PPC or finance. Many of them are very shy in that role. We try, but I realized that the gifts of Filipinos are hospitality, but they could bring food, So that, and then we have the Karen as well, and then we're quite blessed that we have a community garden as well. So every Wednesday, the Karen community comes to the garden every fortnight, and the third Sunday they're bringing their own food as well. And I'm really grateful as well with them. I really acknowledge them. I empower them as well. And on the fourth Sunday, I don't see them, the current community, because they celebrate their liturgy in one of the homes, in their own language, and they bring food as well during that time. I was invited there twice, because I said to them, "Where are you on this Sunday?" I realized that they gather and they celebrate in their own language as well. So I think we just be mindful of the gifts of the community too, and grab that gifts. And then we have a lot of in their 20s and their 30s, young millennials too. And as for me, this is a very interesting. The fourth Sunday is quite interesting group, because in that group a lot of them are LGBT. A lot of them are partners, like girls and men. But I walk with them, I listen to them, I even bless their home, like cars and everything. It was even a time that I was invited to bless their rings, because their wedding will be in the following week, and I bless them. And before they have a lot of anxiety coming to the church. But now they're stepping in, they have the ownership of their fourth Sunday, and that there's space, And
When's the coffee shop open?
so every Sunday, and every Sunday, yeah.
I think that's really great, because I think the Catholic Church for so long has been so judgmental and not open to anybody who's not
True. Yeah.
I work in the office, and I'll, not often, but I do get a call, Mum will ring, want to baptise the little one, and she said, "Are we allowed to?" Because
Yes. Yes. That's
and another one, a couple of times too, a lady would ring and she said, I'm a single mum, but I have a donor as a father.
True. Yeah.
And that is becoming more common.
Yeah.
And I say, of course, because when we pick that phone up, as Monsignor Peter Jeffrey would often say,
true.
You're the face and the voice of the parish.
Yeah.
And it's probably taken them a couple of nights, days to make that phone call, because they're quite anxious because of what the Catholic Church.
Yeah, true.
Yes, very much.
Yeah.
So firstly, I thank them for the call.
Yes.
Because you just thank you for the call, and yes,
and even
you can see after 10 minutes even they've relaxed. We start talking about their little one, what's their name? Do you know what I mean? I know it's
true.
Another 10 minutes on a call, but I just kind of think how hard it is for them to have made that.
True. Yeah, and to feel being welcome in that time and space, and that's a radical, hospitality. Right. And then there will be quite a number now these days, children of surrogacy and same sex as well, So we have a number of that. So as I mentioned, the right of acceptance. So I think, we have, at the moment we have inquirers as well with the RCIA, and then with the RCIA program we have it with the Alpha program as well. So if not sure. So if you know Alpha is a program. A lot of Catholics have hesitation with Alpha because, like I said, it's not Catholic. But no, there's some Catholic program as well. In fact, there's a Alpha Catholic conference at the end of this month as well. I'm going in Sydney. But Alpha, there are three things happening in the Alpha. First is we have a meal together. We have a meal. Then connection. The second is content. So we have a video that we watch together. And the third part is the conversation. and that is the wonder of the Alpha, where everyone from being welcomed, we now enter into a much more deeper level of conversation as well. We started our second Alpha just this week, and we have new people coming, and I was very somehow it made my day last Thursday, because this young lady, she's a Sri Lankan, and she said, I've never been back to a church for a very long time, but I felt that I feel this is my place now, and it's quite a it's a really beautiful to end that gathering. We have a young mom, Ruthie, very reserved, very anxious, but she said, I felt the people on the table are being sent to me. And so with our Alpha and RCIA, we put them all together. And at least sometimes with the RCIA, because the RCIA, if we don't have a really solid RCIA group, it's a big struggle as well. But if we put them in that community, because in our Alpha, we have 25 or 30 people coming every fortnight. And at least, after being received and celebrated with the sacraments, they already have the key people in the community as well, and walk with them. And it's really beautiful.
We don't do Alpha, but we do faith circles, which is a stem of Alpha.
Yeah, what's the name?
Faith circles.
Yep.
Yes. So what we do, we gather. We have about 12 people.
Yeah.
We've been doing for about 7 years. We come together. We read the gospel. It's basically focused on the gospel to sort of break open the word.
Yep.
And we get sheets from up north every 4 weeks.
Yep.
So there's a reflection sheet. At the moment, it's now on Pope Leo.
Yeah.
And we started off by discussing the gospel, and that's fine, and we do all of that. And I've found that over the time, the people have got more confident about opening up about their private life. They know it's confidential. That is one of the main things, that what is said there stays there.
Yeah.
So they find it's very easy to open up, and it's amazing the stories and the help that they've got. And some of them said, I knew nothing till I came to faith circles. And also learning the liturgy and understanding what is really in the gospel, not just on the service, just really digging in. So it's been a wonderful program for
In
us.
which parish are you?
Cobram.
Cobram. Thank you. With Father Junray.
Sorry, where do the reflections come from?
Is it from Brisbane?
Yeah, Brisbane, I think they are, yes. And they're free, and they send them to you like 4 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So you've got plenty of time to look over them. You do need somebody just to organise, but you can give everyone a go if you want to, somebody, if they feel confident enough to have a read of the gospel and see what they